Hello everybody, it's Gloria from Gigi the Crochet Queen, where I bring my love of crochet to inspire you to learn to crochet or to advance your skills. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's tutorial will be on the Houndstooth headband. And this is the headband that I'll be making. I love those colors. This is the previous headband that I made. And the black and white are the typical traditional colors of the houndstooth, but you can do it with any two colors that you choose. So the materials that you'll need is 2 colors of 4-ply yarn. I'm using Big Twist in green. It's a 4 medium weight yarn. The recommended hook size is an H hook, and that is the hook that I'll be using. And I will also be using some red yarn. And this red yarn is from the dollar store, and it is the red Just yarn. It is also a 4 medium weight yarn. The recommended hook size for that one is the I hook, but as I said, I will be using the H hook to make this headband. So get your materials together and we'll get started. So what you want to do, also you'll need a needle, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors for this project. So do a slip knot, however you do your slip knots. That's the way I do mine usually. And you want to do a chain of 71. That's what I did, a chain of 71. You can do less chains or more, but you want to have whatever your chain is. You just, if you do 80, you just add 1. If you do 70, just add 1. So I did 71. And what you want to do is a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then do a double crochet into the next stitch. The next stitch is a single crochet. Next stitch is a double crochet. And this is pretty much your pattern. So you do a single crochet. Next stitch would be a double crochet. Single crochet in the next one. And you want to continue that pattern all the way down to the end of that chain. So again, you're doing single crochets and alternating with the double crochet. Single crochet, double crochet. That's it. I will meet you at the end of that chain. So I have my last 2 stitches, so the next one will be a single crochet. And your last stitch should be a double crochet. Now you don't want to finish your double crochet because you're changing colors here. So get your next color. And we're going to finish off that double crochet with your new color. And you want to leave a bit of a long tail. You don't have to, but I like long tails because it's easier to work with when you have to weave them in. So you finish that double crochet off with your new yarn, chain 1, turn your work, and you want to bring that green yarn or whatever color you're using, your first color yarn, around because you're going to carry this yarn. So you want to bring it around so that you are crocheting over it, just like if you were crocheting over a tail. But this yarn is a carry yarn, so you're going to always carry your yarn. So you go ahead, and since you ended with a double crochet, you will start with a single crochet. in that first stitch. I got a little mixed up, so pick up my right yarn. Okay, so do a single crochet and crochet over your other yarn, and you hold on to it because you're going to just lay it in the back. Next stitch is a double crochet. Next stitch is a single crochet. Then a double crochet. Single crochet. Double crochet. Now what you want to do with that tail is you want to keep tugging on it so that it doesn't bunch up. I remember the first time I did the houndstooth, I didn't realize you were supposed to carry the yarn, and I snipped it, so I had all these ends poking out all over the place. And then when I really learned how to carry yarn, I think I was doing, I can't remember what I was doing, but I learned from there that yes, on houndstooth you just carry the yarn. And the person that I gave that item to, I was so embarrassed. But now I feel like I'm a pro at the houndstooth because now I know I must carry my yarn. But as I said, make sure as you go along periodically, you tug on that yarn that you're carrying so that it doesn't bunch up. You'll have a smooth line going across. So continue that pattern. Make sure you, that's what it looks like on the back. And I'm going to pull that yarn that I'm carrying, straighten it out. I am at the end now. And you want to do a double crochet. These are my last 3 stitches. Single crochet. And again, another double crochet. And you will be changing your yarn color again. So every row you change the color. So you slip stitch, you do your finish off your double crochet and do a chain 1 turn, bring that red yarn or whatever yarn color you're using up so that you can crochet over it. You can carry it. So single crochet in the first stitch, double crochet, and single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. And this is just the repeat on each row. And I did a total of 11 rows. If you want to do more, that is up to you, but I wanted my bottom and my top row to be the same color. So however many rows you choose to do, you should at least have the top and the bottom the same color. But 11 rows is good for a head warmer. You might want to do 13, maybe 15 rows if you want it to be wide enough to cover the ears. The 11 rows is good for a headband. But if you want to make an ear warmer, you should add some additional rows so that it's big enough to cover the ears. So again, I am tugging on my yarn that I'm carrying to make sure it doesn't bunch up. And you straighten it out so that it's smooth. You don't have any problems with your pattern. So again, the repeat is just a single crochet alternating with the double crochet all the way across. And do that until you have 11 rows. And I'll meet you when you get to your 11 rows. Your 11th row, I should say. I am at the end. Doing that single crochet, and the last stitch is a double crochet, and you will finish this double crochet off with that last color. Chain one and make yourself a nice long tail. Fasten off on both colors. You want to at least make sure that they are about the same length. So cut that tail, pull it out, and the tail that you carry, you want to make them at least the same length so that when you sew them, they are the same length. Now you can get your yarn needle because it's time to weave in the other tails that you have. And those, the two longer tails that you just cut, those will be the tails that you use to sew the front of your headband. And now I'm just going to weave in those ends. And you can weave in however you like to weave in. I like to use the yarn needle that has the fishing wire on it, because it's a lot easier, especially if you're using thick yarn and you don't have to try to put it through that little eye, even though some of the yarn needles do have bigger eyes, but I just like this because it's a lot convenient for me. So you just go back and forth, and that will be, that little tail will be weaved in. Snip off the excess, and then we will move on to the next tail to weave in. And if you already know how to weave in your ends, you can go ahead and skip this part and go on to the next part where I show how to sew your headband together, which is not a hard thing to do. You just have to make sure you don't you keep all 4 layers together. But we will get there on the next scene after I finish weaving in this part of the headband. And I did turn, if you didn't notice, I did turn to make sure, because this will be my inside of my headband. So I'm weaving on the inside. I want more of the red. And some people do, you can turn this to that side, and then that's what it looks like. And so that is the front, the part that I'm going to be showing, and this is the back of it. So you want to turn it over, and what you're going to do is take the ends and you're going to fold the ends up. Well, let me measure it. I think it's 20.5 inches long. Yes, 20.5 inches long. So again, you want to turn it over. And we're gonna fold. You want your good side up. And we're gonna fold both of those ends towards each other. And I'm going to turn my work because I want my tails on the outside when I fold it into itself. So the tail is going to be on the outside. And you just fold one over the other. Now you have 4 folds, 4 parts. So you want to make sure that when you start sewing, you go through all 4 of those parts. That way your headband does not come apart, it doesn't look weird because one part starts to open up or anything like that. And this is another reason why I like the fishing wire. If you don't have these yarn needles, you can find them on Amazon. I always go back to Amazon. I don't think I've ever seen them in the stores. They might be there, but I always go to Amazon. So you take those 2 tails and put it into your yarn needle, and you're just going to go from one side to the other through all 4 layers. Make sure you go through all 4 layers. Pull your yarn through. You just want to make sure it's not all bunched up. You want to make sure it pulls through. And you're just going to be going back and forth from side to side. We'll go through one side, pull it through, and do the same thing, go back the other way. And again, you can always pause here, skip to the end if you know how to sew your headband together. But I just kept recording this because I know a lot of people who aren't familiar with, are still new to crocheting. They sometimes like to see each step. I know that's how I was. I always say I'm not a shorthand math person. I need the long version. So I try to make sure I show everything that I do as much as possible. And I hope that it helps someone else. But you know, everybody does their sewing differently. Some people may not do it this way, they might do it a different way, but this is the way I do it, and I think it comes out pretty good this way. Most people that do headbands, I think, do it this way. But I'm not an expert on everybody, so I'm just showing my way. So it's just back and forth, and I'm doing it a second time around just to make sure it is completely closed. And then when you finish this round, I'm gonna weave it in as best you can, because now it's really thick and a little more difficult to get through, but it can be done. I'm almost finished with sewing this up, and then you'll have a finished product. You can wear it, and I love these colors together because they are definitely Christmas colors, and we are a month and a half away from Christmas for those of us that celebrate Christmas. And I'm just weaving in so that I can cut this off And as I said, it's thick and it's tough to get through now, at least for me. Got it done. Now I can snip that in and it is finished. And then you just turn it out. And there it is. Headband is done. Try to straighten that out. Okay. And there's the headband. And then you will see it on my mannequin. And I think it's beautiful. So I really hope that you enjoyed this and you'll be making a lot of headbands. And you can always share them on my Facebook group if you're on my Facebook group, or Instagram, TikTok. Where else am I? Oh, and on my YouTube channel. And you can also email your picture to me. So I hope you will definitely try this out. Houndstooth is really easy. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up and a comment. Until my next video, stay safe, keep crocheting. Bye-bye.